Let me introduce Kasey, please, because she is so impressive. Kasey is the marketing and technology, and I have to read it because it's long. She does a lot. So, marketing and technology operations manager for Visa. Her role is to source, implement, and manage marketing technology and operation across 7 Visa brand portfolios to drive strategic growth and create efficiencies internally. Can you believe that? This girl. It's amazing.
I wear many hats. What can I say?
I know, you do. Do you want to sit?
Yeah, we can sit.
Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect. That's too far away. I don't like that. Okay, perfect. All right, I have some questions. Let's start with, you implemented Impartner, PRM.
Yes, we did.
Let's go back to the beginning. You searched and chose Impartner. What problems were you trying to solve for?
Yeah, I think we were very, very detailed about our RFP process. And we had this really interesting method where we identified these areas of the business that we needed to solve for, these like 3 critical functions, if you will, which I think, again, like distilling your problem across multiple stakeholders and being able to identify those key priorities that you're looking for in a solution is so important. So we had this very long RFP. I'm sure anyone in a partner who saw that come into their inbox is just like, I can't believe we have to work with Visa. Why are they making us fill out 58 lines of data? This is crazy. But having that scoring process was so helpful to just distill the function, and then also being able to have Impartner come in and pitch to us, like just get a feel for who you guys are, what you guys believe in. I think for us, we were really looking for a solution that was willing to innovate, and we saw that with y'all, and we've made 2 choices now where we chose to go with Ignite very early on when it was still almost in beta, I would say, and then same with the marketplace feature as well.
Definitely. PX, so Ignite PX,
yes.
Partner Experience. So they are, if any of you know, some people are using classic UI, and some are using the PX UI, the Partner Experience UI. And Visa has chose to go with the PX UI, which is amazing.
Yeah.
They also implemented our partner directory, and you did some unique things with that. Tell us about that.
We did. So again, I think going in phases is so important when you're working within a partner digital experience. Like initially, we're solving for 3 things. We're solving for enabling a great asset library experience, so having co-branding, being able to support partners with marketing materials, enabling training, so being able to host like these videos and this bespoke content that was meant for a partner audience, and then also enabling lead referrals, so having the capability to collect lead information and then sync it back into our CRM system just in a seamless manner. And then again, your goals change, right? You're in a big enterprise company and you have these initial target audiences of partners that are so important to you at the time. And then there's a new emerging audience. Like I think I've seen ISV tossed around a few times in different items today. So that became a huge focus for Visa. And in that, we decided it would be great to have an audience that we already have in the portal. We already have their data. We're merging between the CRM. We're syncing it every 5 minutes or whatever that sync enables. But we have that data about the partner. They're in the portal. Why don't we just open up the capability to have them create their own listing information, request a draft, enable that process within a system that they're already familiar with, rather than collecting information through Outlook, which I know we all do on occasion, and it's a lot. But that became a great way for us to showcase our ISV partners and be able to hub and spoke some of the information. Because if you guys work with any developer teams, I'm sure it's really hard to say, I know you think this PDF on the technical integration and the API calls is super important, but that might not be the cleanest user experience. So being able to showcase the partner relationship in a meaningful way while also providing technical resources that somebody who's prospecting Visa can reach out for and click into and dive deeper, that was a huge plus for us as well.
It really is impressive what you guys did. And I'm going to come back to the ISV stuff because I know you guys did amazing things there and have seen huge growth. I want to talk a little bit about security because I am sure everyone in this room has at least one Visa branded card in their wallet right now. And so knowing that data is so important, security is top of mind. Talk to me about security.
Yes. So, as you can imagine, Visa is a very secure company. We're very focused on cybersecurity. I always say we're just as much financial services as we are cybersecurity. So you should feel very, very good about your card data and all of your transaction within the Visa network. But for us, onboarding a third-party technology is really challenging. We go through, obviously, the legal process. We go through this very long security assessment, which, again, takes up a lot of my time as somebody who works with third-party vendors and onboards MarTech. But I will say you guys were great partners, and you actually did set a precedent for how we engage with other vendors to say, hey, we saw all of this detail from Impartner on fixes, on remediation plans with timelines and details. And it was really comforting for us to send that back to our cybersecurity team to say, look at all of this planning that the vendor is doing. We should feel really confident about this engagement. And even like pushing all of our CRM data, for example, into the system, because that is
a big deal.
Yeah, it's touchy for a minute.
It is very touchy. Yeah. Well, and to talk about that with integrations, right, and data security, how are you integrating and keeping the integrity of that data as you're bringing all this data together, right?
Yeah, so I would say, kind of going back to what Trevor was mentioning with this orchestration studio, none of this is possible without data. You need a really clean, really cohesive data ecosystem in order to enable all of these orchestration capabilities. So for us, that CRM integration was so vital to how we operate. We also have very limited resources to manage the partner experience. So like, again, this is not my full-time job. I do other things, but I always joke that I moonlight as a product manager for our partner portal. And I'm sure a lot of you probably feel similarly as well. But having that clean data ecosystem, making sure that we have updated, cohesive information within the partner portal and the CRM that we're considering our source of truth is so important for how we operate and also how we expand, right? Like when we have all of the partner taxonomy data feeding from the CRM into our partner experience, it enables us to segment and personalize these experiences at such a scale that wouldn't be possible if it were just a few people working within the partner portal, working on 300 different partner experiences and trying to enable and segment and personalize at a very high scalable level. So having that connectivity is so important. And then also having a really clean taxonomy that is agreed upon by multiple stakeholders within your company. Like our partner experience journeys are not just marketing, right? Like when we onboard this portal, it's not just marketing, it's not just digital who's deciding, it's all of these different stakeholder groups. So being able to collaborate and come together on what you are considering to be the partner type or the partner classification or what needs need to be met, like that's so important. And being able to track that within one unified source of truth is also what enables you to grow at scale.
Well, you're just really good at leading to my next question.
Oh, amazing.
Which is, now that you did all this work to create the foundation, how do you optimize and scale from here?
I think when you're building, like one of the things that I kept saying, and it was, again, like I was very new to Visa when I was onboarding Impartner, so that was also interesting. I was like meeting some of these teams for the first time, and this was our first engagement. But I think something that we did really well that I am very grateful we persisted on was just keeping it simple, like making sure that the partner portal was extremely modular in how the taxonomy was listed and how the data was organized. Like everything was very clear, everything was very simple. We were not trying to create duplicate fields. We were really trying to enable a system that allowed us to scale over time. Because again, as I'm sure a lot of y'all are in tech, I'm gonna guess, because we're sitting in Austin. So I think that you are all aware that your goals and your priorities will change over the years. and you need to be flexible, modular, and able to adapt that partner experience. And when you have a strong data foundation that enables you to do that, and you're setting it up thoughtfully as opposed to quickly, that's really what makes a difference in being able to scale. So for example, like we started with a few different partner types, right? Like we're Visa, we work on payment systems, work with a lot of banks, right? So that's like a very heavily supported audience, and that began as like one of the key audiences we were trying to support. Now we have ISVs, which has become a huge focus. So that's an entirely different set of content, a new set of trainings, a different partner experience that we need to enable. So being able to have a very clean segmentation and then working really closely with your CRM team even to say like, hey, this type of group is a huge priority for the business. It's not well reflected in our taxonomy. So like having that engagement with your sales ops stakeholder even to say like, look, we're seeing this partnership emerge. We want to support this type of partner because it's a priority for our business and it's a high revenue growth indicator. So having that relationship between the partner team who's enabling the experience as well as the CRM or sales ops stakeholder that you're working with to build the taxonomy is also something I would highly encourage all of you to pursue.
ISVs are a huge topic, as you mentioned, for probably most people in this room. And people are trying to figure out how to navigate and grow. What have you done? What have you seen? What tidbits can you share with the group around how you guys have grown those?
I think for us, it's also like with ISVs, because they're independent software vendors, they're extremely innovative. They're trying to push forward into the future. You want an experience that is also innovative and future thinking and a very clean, easy to use UX, because most of these ISVs that pop up, they don't exist with 90s Word document style of like user experience and interfaces. Like they make it really, really easy for the user to engage with their product. So providing a partner experience at the user experience level, like beyond the content, just like the basic login, like keeping it modular, keeping it clean, don't overdo it, right? Like just keep it very, very easy to navigate, and being able to guide the partner through that is so important. And also like creating bespoke content. Like if it's important to you as a business, like ensure that there is content there to support that type of partner, because they might have unique needs. They might have unique content needs, knowledge gaps, things that they're looking for from us as Visa that we need to support. It's not the same style of content. It's not the same PDF, co-branded asset, training even. Like these are relationships that you want to foster and nurture. So again, like personalize around your verticals and also ensure that you have a really nice UX, because more often than not, these ISVs have very, very slick user experiences.
It's true. I mean, I think that's almost a mic drop right there. We have to think about the partners, right? And I say this all the time, right? Put yourself in their shoes and think about what it is for them to do business with you. If they're not able, if it's not easy, they're not going to. And if we can get a corporation as large as Visa to decide, hey, these guys are important, we're going to create, information and, do things to make doing business with us easier, we can all do this.
And something I will add to that as well is like, I think Impartner has done such a great job of like co-creating experiences with Visa. We especially saw that when you guys were like, again, early release of Partner Marketplace. That was a newer widget. And I was on weekly calls with the product manager saying, here's our feedback. Like, here are things that maybe we might need as a business, and these might also be helpful for your other clients. So having that engagement and like going into the product ideas board on Impartner has been very, very helpful for us, because like you guys really are open to innovating based on the needs of your clients. So that does make our job quite a bit easier.
Well, that and I hunt down the product managers.
You really do. Yeah.
Whoops, sorry. Okay, now we've talked a ton about the foundation and how you've kind of put that in place. where are you guys going now? What's the direction? What's on the path for Portal?
I mean, after seeing that orchestration studio, like I will be emailing you after today.
It's so fun,
It's
right?
really cool.
There's so much.
Yeah, no. So I would say like iPaaS solutions are actually very top of mind for us right now for some other workflows that we're working on enabling. So that's really cool to see that become available. I think for us from a partnership standpoint, like again, we always, I'm sure you guys are new to this too, but like we always have new leadership, you know? So like, again, kind of adapting based on what they feel are priorities and being able to showcase that in our partner experiences, that will be important. I think, again, being able to automate is always a goal. So like being able to scale your production of content, being able to automate translations, being able to localize, that's a huge goal for us right now. Because it's very expensive and it's very difficult to translate assets for partners and be able to localize them for Visa in every language, right? Like we need 20 realistically.
I don't know anyone else with that problem here.
Yeah, Thai was a request for us recently, and I was like, all right, so it is. But like that is really helpful to see. So being able to localize content will be huge for us. And then again, just figuring out how we continue to personalize at scale. Getting creative, becoming more innovative. I think an LMS integration is also in the future for us. So just being able to enable that SCORM-like experience within Impartner. We're really excited to pursue that as well. And then
SCORM's going to be available in Impartner.
I know.
What, April 1st?
Good plug.
I like to take those.
Yeah. And then for us too, it's also really about how we scale, how we automate, how we continue to grow, and then internally, how we continue to expand this offering towards other business units at Visa. Visa is a massive company. We are not just credit cards. We have payment solutions. We are really, really focused on the B2B arm of our business right now. So figuring out how we make this partner experience work between other Visa business units is also critical for us because we don't want to force the partner to log into 15 different systems. That is not a great user experience. So identifying ways that we can merge with other teams and support not just the relationship, but the partner themselves and the 7 relationships they may have with Visa, that's also an area we're really looking to pursue.
Well, we can help with that too.
Yes, thank you.
We are,
yeah.
We've got other Visa teams we're working with.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so massive things you've done since you started at Visa. I want to know, as we wrap up, how has this impacted you internally at Visa? I know you didn't even know I was going to ask you this question.
No,
but I want to know,
question.
Has this changed the course? Has this helped you? Has this given you a name at Visa? What has this done for you?
Yeah, 100%. I came from sports marketing. So like I was on a very different path and in a very different industry before I came into channels and MarTech specifically. So this is new for me for sure. But no, onboarding Impartner, being able to implement, optimize, scale it over time, it's allowed me to grow professionally, obviously, by like winning the award a few years ago for like a great implementation of a new product because we were just choosing to innovate and be bold, which is rare for an older company. But it's really elevated my ability to appreciate the details, I think, because I was so involved in the implementation of Impartner. I would just encourage anyone who's like an executive or really high level in the room, like really trust the people you're working with, ask them what's going on in their implementation, understand all of the different nuances and details and discrepancies because it's so important for you to like understand exactly what's happening in the partner experience and how all of these little tiny details are adding up to create impact on your partners. And then also it's just made me a really good cross-functional employee, I would say. Like we work with product, we work with developers, we work with our CRM team, we work with different partnerships teams, we work with marketing, we work with comms. Like there's so many different stakeholder groups who you're working with and you manage an experience like this. And being able to work cross-functionally with all of those teams just opens up so many avenues for you to uncover pain points and solve together beyond even the partner experience through the portal. So there's a lot that it's done for me in my career as well.
I love that. I love that it changed your course.
Yeah.
And you're going to stick here. Okay, questions. Does anyone want to ask any questions? Go ahead, Matt.
Hi.
So this is for Kasey. I'm Matt, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
I knew you weren't going to ask me a question, Matt.
Longtime Visa user, and my wife's a longtime Visa overachiever.
Oh, amazing. Love that.
So my question is about cybersecurity and
Yeah.
all the things you're doing. And I know you're locked in. You mentioned all these organizations. And as you interact with new ISVs and you're doing more and more with partners, how closely are you bringing in your CISO or your team just to make sure you're buttoning up everything so we don't get exposed to bad guys?
Yeah.
I'm curious if you can just comment on that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think for a lot of our ISV partnerships, we do have a dedicated like developer site and developer team who's working directly with them. They're all very extroverted engineers, as I would say. So they're all like very knowledgeable about the product itself, but all very comfortable being client facing. So we bring them in early on conversations with the ISV from a technical standpoint. And then also a lot of Visa is like built around mitigating risk. We have this very detailed security assessment process, which we make existing tech, new tech, like every engagement is usually running through the security assessment. It triggers possibly 8 lanes depending on like your survey or questionnaire, your input that you fill out at the front end. But having a safeguard like that, honestly, is what prevents so many bad malicious attempts from happening at Visa. So being able to orchestrate the evaluation and the impact of potentially connecting or building an app or building a connector with a partner, anticipating these things ahead of time is really been helpful for Visa. But just building a process around it, like that's huge for us.
Rob.
You mentioned sort of the groups that a PRM project exposed you to. Would you mind just maybe relisting those? So you said like IT,
Yeah.
marketing, like who else were you exposed to within Visa because of this project?
Yeah, I would say IT, marketing, digital, a lot of our developers and engineering team, so software engineers, aplenty in this. Our sales operations team, fortunately, I have a great relationship with our sales ops team. A stakeholder in our Austin office used to work in sports as well. We worked at the Dolphins together. So that I would say just came also as a benefit to me, but we were heavily engaged in working on just the field mapping for Impartner to ensure the CRM sync was set up correctly. It's also led us over to marketers, business leaders, channel managers, the individual account leaders who support some of our larger relationships with our really critical partners. We actually have people at Visa who are dedicated to supporting like 1 or 2 accounts. So working with them to like really build out a more bespoke experience for those partners as well. But yeah, across the board, a lot of people on the B2B side at Visa. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
You mentioned UX in Impartner for people and having a very kind of bespoke view of that. Do you have like a templatized approach based on vertical, or what does that kind of generally look like?
We actually keep it pretty clean, I would say. We keep it very consistent across partners because we try to tier it off. And this is just something internal that I found helpful. Like we only customize the imagery and the text and the colors and things like that if it is like a very, very important partner to Visa. Otherwise, we make sure that everybody's getting the same experience with different modular elements included based on their segmentation. So like, again, we are very, very heavy users of the segmentation feature. Like we're very, very, very detailed in that. And I think, again, like keeping your segmentation really clean and really clear. So you or somebody else on your team can go into that module and say, oh, I know what content I'm going to send to this audience. I can read this. This is very clear. Like that is something that I would highly encourage all of you to do if you are not already.
Brad.
So I have like 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
One is how long have you been with Impartner and working with them?
Yeah.
And the when you went through your RFP process, what software was your main concern that you're trying to fulfill? And has that grown since you've been with them, with their offering, and what does it look like now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been at Visa for almost 3 years now, and I was asked to fly to Lehigh to help select a PRM vendor 3 weeks into starting my job with Visa. So it was like right at the start, like it was hitting the ground running, and it was really exciting. But I will say that also gave me a little bit more objectivity going into the RFP process, because I really looked at it from a features and capabilities standpoint, and I got to read a very uncolored version of the RFP to say, like, okay, here are top priorities. We're meeting these priorities. I'm not going to get involved with whatever has happened or whatever the history is behind these arguments for the priorities, more than likely. But staying very objective, staying very detailed, and also like meeting people in person is so important. For us, like I would say, again, we were looking at enabling a great asset library, are like our 3 critical functions of like having great marketing materials, being able to facilitate trainings, being able to capture leads. So for us, like a few things that really were important were the CRM connection, because we wanted that integration to be super solid. We're a dynamic shop, which is unique for sure. So not all companies and PRM providers at the time had a great dynamics integration. So like that was a great offering for us, and definitely points in the Impartner world. So like those are some, and then obviously like meeting the cybersecurity needs was a huge thing for us as well. So being able to be accessibly compliant, like that was one of the things that you guys really hustled on right at the end there, meeting that WCAG 2.0 standard. But yeah, from like a more qualitative side, I would say in going into that RFP, I was also looking for a company that was willing to push it and innovate and be able to release new features. And some of the things that we saw in Impartner that we really liked were their ability to say, well, here's our partner experience, like our standard that we showed you a few weeks ago. We're also working on this Ignite Pro, I think, still. Is that the right term for it? PX? Yeah, but they were working on this newer portal, and they showed us that closer to the end. And I think that was really exciting for us, because they weren't just working on enhancing the old, they were really working on building the new. And that was like a newer, more modular look and feel to a portal than what we had seen prior. It didn't require as much design resources or any external vendors to come in and hard code all of the HTML to create a beautiful experience. So that was something that we really liked. And like, that's part of the reason we chose to partner with you guys.
And you've been with Impartner for 2-3 years, going on 3?
Almost 3 years, yeah, almost 3 years. And then we extended into the directory as well. So that was kind of like our next big progression, was producing a directory based off of the portal experience, and then also enabling partners to go in and input their information for the directory, and then producing that as a live page on our website. Yeah.
And now I think there's a couple other business units within Visa that are also working with us. So
Yes.
growth in other areas.
That was a big internal conversation too. We saw just a lot of efficiency with us using Impartner. Like again, there's 2 people who are really in it very often, and it's not our full-time job, which is really impressive to say, because we saw 20 people who it was their first full-time job working on like a custom portal experience on another side of Visa. So they saw us and said like, oh, we need to change this. It's not as efficient. It doesn't have the same capabilities. And you guys are in a more innovative place than we feel we are.
What's your primary KPI? Just engagement, download?
Oh, I would love, can I dive into
Oh,
this?
please.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would say for us, it's certainly engagement of like that top echelon of partners, because like that's who we're really trying to support. With KPIs, I do want to get on my soapbox for a minute with this, because it's really challenging to identify KPIs for a portal, and you go back and forth between a number of teams who say, like enablement may say the training's the most important thing, marketing will say the content's the most important thing, sales will say the lead registration or the deal reg is the most important thing. But I think being very customized and flexible with your KPIs is important. Naturally, like you should report on all the standard, but be able to tease out the meaning behind specific experiences. For example, with us, we saw that some of our partners were had one stakeholder who Visa engaged with heavily. They would go into the portal, they would download 100 assets, and then they would keep them on their own personal computer and distribute them out ad hoc. Whereas other partners would log in intermittently, check on assets, and then use them just like at an ad hoc level. So like there's different behaviors that I think you have to be aware of when you see all of your portal KPIs. So like really having somebody dive deep into the numbers and say, how is this partner behaving? Is this the way that we want them to engage? And is this all right? Also, like another thing I will say, your portal, always think of your portal as a channel. It's not the end all be all, and it's not going to replace your rep. You know, your rep should always have a touch point with the partner, and they should encourage the portal for independent behavior and for self-service. But for some of these bigger relationships, especially, you still need the rep to be there and to be talking to the partner.
Yeah. Automation just does the work that the CAM or whatever shouldn't have to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Well, thank you. Soapbox was great.
Oh, thank you.
Any other questions?
Sorry, one more. This may be for ops question, but
Yeah, I'm here for it.
handle partner segmentation on the CRM side, and partner opportunity segmentation as well. Like, how do you view that to differentiate it from the rest of the CRM once it's?
So we do have we have quite a few fields syncing between the CRM and the partner portal that do like reflect, they mirror one another. So we do have that bidirectional sync enabled, and that's how we segment some. We have some fields that are native to Impartner as well that allow us to produce different experiences. One very tactical example, and I'm sorry if your eyes glaze over for this, but like one very tactical example is like we have a unique record or a unique account record for every Visa relationship. So like that could be one with the X business unit X or business unit Y or business unit Z. So there are some partners that come into our portal with relationships to X, Y, and Z. So we have a few fields in Impartner to mitigate to service multi-business unit relationships for certain partners. So we'll say like, we'll put a both and or both business unit clause in there as a checkbox to indicate to serve partners the same content for business unit X and business unit Y to ensure that they're still receiving like a 360-degree experience. And they don't have to log in to a different portal experience per business. So it's, again, like trying to merge and be very, very empathetic to the partner as opposed to saying they have this relationship, that's all we're going to service in this portal. We're going to make them log in separately. So again, just trying to eliminate logins, you know?
That partner experience.
Yeah.
Double down on that question of
Yeah.
segmentation. Do you have localized partners and globalized partners? In the globalized sense, do you use the same segmentation methodology of business units to designate people who should be multi-regional capable in their experience?
That's a great question, honestly. Most of the time, we haven't run into that issue too much. We do try to push all localized content into the partner portal just as a catch-all for especially like more global partners. That's a great question. We're actually like kind of on our translation journey right now. We are also very invested in AI translation capabilities. It's a new development for our team. So I'm sure that will come up as a use case.
Are use cases more sort of
Restriction of languages?
list, for example, that you only want to expose?
Got it.
You've got a global partner that's got assets, they've got people all over the world, but you've got a global administrator.
Yep.
As the partner who needs to be able to experience every region's different experience.
Yeah. I mean, we've put check boxes into block if we see a pattern. So that's something that we've done as well. Again, like just a single field only in Impartner, and you can block assets to prohibit that content from being shared with the wrong group of users.
So you use also AI in your implementation?
For Impartner? We did not. It was like, we were kind of pre-AI, I would say. Now AI gets tossed over into my world about 8 times a day right now in my job. So like I'm very familiar. I'm really excited to see the open AI connection in Impartner. I think that's a really cool advancement. We haven't used as much AI in the partner experience yet, but I certainly see where that can plug in later.
Yeah, and how you gonna more you use the AI, the more you train AI, get your data.
Right. And I will say, like, I think, are you at like a large enterprise company? If you have your own proprietary version of AI that's not necessarily leveraging OpenAI itself, that's a step I would highly consider you take. I don't know where you're at, but like that's something that I have seen as a pattern in a lot of like enterprise companies who double down on security. Yeah. hmm
Enterprise accounts, they're actually creating their own. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it might not be, it is like, for example, like Visa's not necessarily using OpenAI, they're using Visa AI. So like, exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yes, but again, like kind of closed versus open, right? Like closing off your ecosystem to prevent malicious attempts. Yeah.
That's a question too about your guys' connection too, because it's, you run the risk of that if it's not at the enterprise level.
Yeah, we started with the open ones, you can do translations and things like that. The next step is being able to do specific instance. You train the AI on your own information, so as you have like Gen AI type stuff, you're not building an email and getting competitors positioning into your email or things like that. So yeah, that's the next step of okay, yes, we have the open AI, which is open to everything. You're putting it out there, but yeah, we want to be able to have it trained specifically on your information. That's what those virtual assistants will be. Is okay. Let's load up all of our documentation into this, train it on our information so it can answer questions to partners based off of our information.
So
Yep.
it's like customizable LLMs.
Yeah.
But aren't those still, without an actual enterprise account with OpenAI, isn't that still, doesn't that data still live with OpenAI?
I am not the AI expert. We have Robert over there in Brainmouth. He knows all the technical capabilities of it. My understanding is it's similar to a bank account. Yes, all of our bank accounts live in the same database, but it's segmented off and privatized that way, so you're not having the crossover in the data.
On the virtual assistant side of that, are you looking at doing sort of guided navigation for a partner experience?
I'm working on it in another area right now, but I do see the draw, and I would perhaps like to investigate how this could be implemented and kind of coupled with the portal experience as well. But right now I'm working on it in a different space.
It does become a lot if you have a lot of partners to have that chat.
Yes,
So be careful with it if you do it.
I was going to say, always be careful, like 80-20 it, that's kind of our rule. Like if you can automate 80%, that's amazing, but always keep that 20% for human review.
I'm thinking in the realm of like chatbots.
Yes, I'm not unfamiliar with that as well.
Well, Kasey, thank you so much. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Impartner's marketplace or locator.
Yeah.
What are you trying to solve with that? What prompted you to kind of look at that next? And try to figure out what-
Great question. So for us, again, the focus pivoted over to ISV partners. So that became a huge focus for Visa and a priority segment that we wanted to double down on within our partner ecosystem. And for us, it was this way to merge the developer experience of having like these very bespoke, very technical pieces of content while also promoting the partnership from a marketing standpoint. So like for us, we wanted one experience to connect between the entire partner relationship, not just from the developer side, not just from the marketing side. We wanted to create a directory where we could showcase the partnership itself, have the marketing material, house the graphics, be able to explain what the partnership is and what it offers, but then also link out to resources that are specific to a developer audience. So being able to say like, this is all about our relationship with BigCommerce or Shopify, and these are all of the wonderful things that you can get within this integration. If you are a developer, click into these Getting Started documents to really research and understand how to connect these two entities. Yeah.
it's amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you so
time and coming
much.
today.
Of
And actually,
course.
I saw someone from BigCommerce walk in. That was
gosh, I love that.
almost a cue.
Wow.
It was great.
What a dream. Okay.
Thank you very much.